When kids get a gig on the Disney Channel, they've pretty much secured their way to total stardom. But not everyone's cut out for Hollywood life in the long run. So, here are some former Disney stars who opted out of the spotlight in favor of the 9-to-5 grind instead. Selena Gomez's wacky BFF Harper on Wizards of Waverly Place taught us to unapologetically be ourselves, wherever that happens to take us in life. The actor who played her, Jennifer Stone, has a pretty similar story. From Disney star to working the front lines in a California emergency room, her career took quite a turn after she decided to follow her newfound passion as a nurse. Following a diagnosis with type 1 diabetes after wrapping up on Wizards of Waverly Place, Stone opted to enroll in college, like the rest of her family. As she explained to Beyond Type 1, "I didn't want to be the only one who hadn't gotten a degree. I also wanted to know if acting was something I really wanted to keep doing, because it's all I've known."
I wanted to learn more about my disease, and I also wanted to make sure that nobody ever had to experience that when they were going through uncertainty.
As if growing up on camera wasn't a daunting enough experience, Stone decided to jump into her new role during a worldwide pandemic. As she shared on Instagram in July 2020, "As a new grad in the ER, some days I feel like I'm getting the hang of things, and other days I feel like I'm just trying to keep my head above water." When Dylan Sprouse wrapped up his starring role with his twin brother Cole on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and The Sweet Life on Deck in 2011, he decided to get a degree from New York University and see where it took him. And where it took him was a life of brewing his own mead. As an underage college student, the only way Sprouse was able to consume alcohol was if he made it himself. And he quickly discovered that he had a love for creating his own booze. As he revealed to Forbes in 2020, "I got a fake ID. I bought every mead I could. I tasted them, and I disliked a lot of them." When Sprouse graduated, he didn't know what to do next, or if he had any desire to return to acting. So that's when he decided to turn his hobby into a vocation. After working at Kings County Distillery in Brooklyn, he officially opened his own business in New York City in 2018, All Wise Meadery. He had difficulties being taken seriously at first, as many people thought he was simply a celebrity with an endorsement deal. As he noted to Forbes, "I have to explain a lot to people that this is my business, and I'm here every day I can be." That comes as a surprise to a lot of people.
"I could talk your ear off, but I think you should just probably drink it."
If you've ever wondered what happened to the girl who starred in the 2006 Disney Channel original movie, Read It and Weep, you're not alone. As it turns out, Panabaker decided to become a zookeeper. That's a transition that makes perfect sense when you consider how being a child star is a bit of a chaotic jungle. When someone tweeted at Panabaker in 2016 asking her why she made the switch, she replied, "I just lost the love for acting. Life is short. We spend so much time at work. Gotta do what you love." But Disney still remains a part of Panabaker's life, as she now gets to take care of the animals at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And in a way, perhaps she should have known all along that she would eventually end up working around wild animals. As she recalled on Instagram in 2020, "In September 2008, I was supposed to be in Oregon shooting a movie whose funding had fallen through. My mom wanted to get my mind off of the anxiety and took me to SeaWorld San Diego for a behind-the-scenes tour. I had no idea I would be a zookeeper myself 10 years later." While the character of Tawny on Sunny with a Chance loves the spotlight, the actress who played her eventually decided to leave that life behind. Since her Disney Channel days, Tiffany Thornton has been working as a recruiter at Champion Christian College in Arkansas. And since marrying her second husband, Josiah, in 2017, she's also become extremely involved in his church. Though she hasn't continued acting, Thornton still uses her singing skills every Sunday. Working at a local Christian college keeps her busy every day of the week. As she gushed on Instagram, "I absolutely love working here and seeing how God moves in the lives of these students. Plus, they come to my house a few times a semester for a big get-together, where I make chicken, spaghetti, salad, and banana pudding for dessert." Thornton's school spirit has also led her to become a cheerleading coach for another Christian school, which honestly sounds like it could be the premise of a Disney Channel show. Lizzie McGuire's friend Gordo was a straight-A student, and the actor who played him is also fairly academically inclined. After the show ended, Adam Lamberg went on to college, majoring in geography. He even continued on to get a master's degree. but he's never lost his love for the arts along the way. He eventually landed a gig as a development officer at the Irish Arts Center in New York City. As he revealed to his fans on Tumblr after landing the job, "After a couple of early highs, things have gotten tough. And now I'm probably somewhere between the denial stage and the acceptance stage as to whether I still want to act. We'll see where it all goes." After years out of the acting game, it was announced in 2019 that Lamberg would be joining the Lizzie McGuire reboot on Disney+. As Hilary Duff said in a statement, "I couldn't imagine the series without him. I can't wait for fans to see what he's up to 15 years later and how he fits into Lizzie's adult world."
Wait. Fan's not complete without me. Gordo's back.
Alas, that didn't quite work out, as the reboot was canceled in December 2020 before it ever even premiered. Stephen Anthony Lawrence still had the acting bug when he wrapped up his time as Beans on Even Stevens in 2003. He landed a few small roles in some movies, but he ultimately dipped out of Hollywood. In 2015, he was spotted working at a local mall as one of Santa's helpers, and fans who saw him couldn't help but freak out. On the path from the Disney Channel to the North Pole, Lawrence seemed to have a realization. His career had always been surrounded by kids. Instead of having his own, he began to share his knowledge to aspiring thespians by becoming an acting teacher. As he explained to Business Insider in 2018, "I teach kids. I teach all ages. Anybody that's hungry. I think it's a big blessing to get kids to start learning technique at an early age, instead of just making faces in front of the camera. We underestimate kids." Morgan York never envisioned herself acting in her adult years. Unlike the environmentalist Sarah that she played on Hannah Montana, she fretted about how what she was doing wasn't anything meaningful. She yearned for an outlet where she had more creative control and could impact people in important ways. So she decided to enter the literary world and become a novelist. Being in control of the story she's telling helps prevent York from being typecast for who she is in real life. Instead, as a writer, she can experience life as any character she wants. As she noted on her blog in 2012, "If I hadn't acted, I'd be taking out a buttload of loans right now just to pay my way through college. I will never regret acting, but I will also never regret leaving. I had some of the best experiences of my life with my friends on the set." Then, in July 2018, York blogged about how she'd secured a full-time publishing job and that she'd completed her first draft of a young adult contemporary fantasy novel. She also launched a since-closed Patreon campaign that stated she'd written articles for Queership, BNN Teen Blog, and YA Pride. Lizzie McGuire's arch-enemy, Kate Sanders, always seemed to have the perfect comeback. So it makes perfect sense that the actress who played her ended up with a career in criminal defense. Yes, indeed, Ashlie Brillault traded her scripts for textbooks when she began studying political science at California State University before moving on to law school in Colorado. Impressively, she passed the bar exam on her first try and went on to live out her new dream career in a courtroom, which isn't all that different from being front and center on a TV set. As she told MTV News in 2015, "My ultimate goal is to work on issues related to criminal justice reform." Based on her LinkedIn profile, which shows that she went from student attorney to partner in 2 years, it looks like she made it. While a cutthroat career in entertainment probably prepared her for her legal career, it seems like she didn't shake the acting bug for good. No, she didn't sign on for the Lizzie McGuire reboot, but she did reprise the role of Kate for the socially distanced May 2020 cast reunion/table read of the I Want a Bra episode. In the 1999 Disney Channel original movie, Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, Mean Girl Margie was able to add Space Girl to her name, and the actor who played her has since been able to add Doctor to hers. After appearing in 3 movies in the extraterrestrial franchise, Lauren Maltby decided to pursue a much different career path, as she no longer wanted to live among the metaphorical or literal stars. So instead, she hit the books and received her PhD to become the best that she could be in her new field. Nowadays, she's a licensed psychologist in Southern California, specializing in cognitive behavioral therapy for children and adolescents. which is much more of a mouthful than any of her lines in the movies. Maltby also spends some of her work time as an associate professor of pediatrics at UCLA. Stepping out of the spotlight and out of the way of any unidentified lights coming out of the starry sky seems to have been the best decision for this successful psychologist.
People were intended to be outdoors and they never would have invented houses.
When Even Stevens ended, eldest brother Donnie was headed to college. But Nick Spano, the actor who played him, had something a bit different on his mind. As he explained to Voyage LA in 2018, "I had some modest success early in my life as an actor, but was always drawn to business and real estate. Over time, I was pulled further and further away from the artist life, and really wanted to spend more time painting. So in 2015, I made the shift." Spano decided to start one business in particular as a way to get adults to play, and that's how Recreation Cafe was born. His idea was to combine food with, quote, creative social experiences, like live music, paint nights, and pool parties. At first, he was hosting his own events all over the city, but he never planned on becoming a promoter, so he purchased his own real estate in the middle of Los Angeles to make his booming business more permanent. As he described it, "I wanted to build a real hub where people could come to connect through the types of experiences I was producing." Perhaps having a wacky little brother like Lewis on Even Stevens provided some of the inspiration for Spano to get in the business of family fun in his own life. As he put it to Voyage LA, "This whole journey for me started by a sudden change in my perspective and what I wanted in life." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.